Hello everyone, and welcome back to Salliekat Plays Exile, Escape from the Pit. We've got a royal mission to go mess up some sliths, and in true adventurer fashion, we're going to keep exploring instead. Going to continue along the north wall of the Great Cave here, with maybe stopping to look at an extra attraction or two. Fumarole Plateau. Don't drink the water. Okay then. A steep path leads up the side of this plateau. You see a plume of steam rising from its summit. You aren't sure what is causing it. That would be... You see the cause of the steam plume. The plateau is a gigantic fumarole. Boiling, steaming, sulphurous water shoots from a nearby crevice and pours down to the south. The ground is covered with thick yellow deposits. I bet this area smells absolutely terrible. There is a small, well-appointed tower at the edge of the cliff. It is surrounded by a small, neat mushroom garden. Patches of brightly colored mold and lichen brighten up the walls and paths. I like that someone is making creative use of all the fungus around here. A striking woman with a broad smile and long, braided, snowy white hair opens the door. Ah, customers! It's been so long. I am Silverlock. Come in for tea and to sample my wares. You won't be disappointed. I don't know why attack is on here, that's just rude. We're going to enter. The witch sits you down with tea and cookies, and chats brightly with you for an hour or two. Then she drags out her supply of potions and tries to sell them to you. They bubble and hiss at you. Ooh, she has some rather nice ones. Protection Brew, Ambrosia, Knowledge Brew. Knowledge Brew I know gives you extra skill points. Brew of Leith, I think, is not a good one. That drains your experience, maybe? Leith being the river of forgetfulness in the Greek underworld. Of course, we're not going to buy any of these potions right now because we have almost no money. You know what? Let's see what happens if we attack. The resident of the tower shakes her head sadly, curses you, and blasts you out of her tower. Of course. Interesting that blasting didn't do any damage. Ah, so if you attack Silverlock, you cannot buy her potions ever. Very good to know. So, continuing onward. Blosk to the west, Tower of Patrick to the south, and the castle is back east. And up here, something that didn't get mentioned on that sign. Fort Emerald. Sign says Fort Emerald. Thank you. Fort Emerald is rather well positioned in this small tunnel between one or two bodies of water. When the guards see that you're human, they open the portcullis briefly to let you through. And it looks like this fort has seen a bit of a beating during the Slith War. Iron plaque says prison. Oh, fun. Oh yeah, gotta talk to the guard. You see one of the soldiers of the fort. When the soldier sees your civilians, you get a quick nod and nothing else. You are ignored. Okay then. We've got some magic barriers here. I'm not going to dispel those just yet. Not sure if I need to. Anything interesting on this side? Priest and perhaps an archer? No, the archer is one of the generic soldiers. There is a man in robes here. He fingers a holy symbol and stares through the arrow slit intently. He turns to you briefly and turns back to his vigil. My name is Hodgson. He waves at the slit. I watch for the next attack. When it comes, I defend us as best I can. The sliths are relentless. Soon my shift will be over, and I can go to the Emerald and my rest. Does not want to tell us about the sliths. Ask about rest. Not much of one. I don't enjoy this at all. I'd much rather be working on my alchemy. I actually don't know that much about it. I was going to try to invent a healing potion using grey mold before I got called to come here. I only got as far as finding a patch of the stuff. No mean feat. Is that so? Well, it probably isn't there anymore, but I found a small patch of the stuff at the headwaters of the river that runs down to the big lake. The lake Kotra sits on. The stuff was far, far to the north. Took me forever to find it. I took some with, but it spoiled long ago. Sorry. Now that's cool. I don't think I ever knew to ask this guy about that and get that information about the grey mold when I first played this game. It's a little bit more obvious in the remakes when they give you more explicit choices of what to ask for instead of this text box where you get to choose which ward you can investigate. So it's neat to see sometimes how much of the game was not added in later. It was always here, I just didn't find it. Anyway, what about this emerald? He flashes you a wicked grin. It's the thing that's kept this fort going as well as it has. It was found nearby, and brought here when they found what it could do. It restores magical power. Thanks to it, each mage here casts the spells of 3. Any sliths that come here, they get 3 flame strikes for every one they send. Well, that sounds nifty. A young mage with a pointed black beard and an arrogant expression inspects a magic barrier. He looks you up and down, unimpressed with what he sees. I am Matthias. What is your business here? He smirks. Teaching the sliths who come here a lesson. I'm one of the mages of this fort. My job, in particular, is to strengthen these barriers. Sometimes I dispel one and create it anew. We can't always rebuild the walls between attacks. Often some upstart asks me to teach him how to dispel the barriers. He chortles. That, I tell them, is our secret, not theirs. The tower chooses some spells to keep for itself. Maybe won't tell him about Myrwin, then, and the fact that we already know how to dispel barriers. Hee hee hee. So yes, if I really want to, I can dispel 1 or 2 of the barriers in that corner and see if there's anything worth seeing. A serious-looking woman with long, curly brown hair and the smooth, sharp movements of a natural fighter paces the fort, watching things. She is very small, but the wicked axe hanging from her belt makes her seem much taller. She nods. I'm Scarlet. Welcome to Fort Emerald. I'm in command here. I keep things in line. I defend against the raids, and sent a few sorties out in return. And I keep an eye on Nass. Oh? Yeah, town near here. Populated by friendly sliths. She says the word friendly with a voice choked with derision. They say they hate the sliths that attack us. But the sliths only attack us, not them. Well, this fort guards against all sliths. Maybe some of those bastards aren't twisted. I'll believe it when I see it. Right, command. Raids, Nass. Yes, they come fast and furious. First the fireballs, then the curses, then the charge. Our north wall gets battered as fast as we can repair it, but we hang on. Alright then, so that is quite interesting. There are apparently friendly sliths in addition to the hordes of evil ones. And I keep hoping that one of these archers is going to be interesting, and he never is. Mess hall. And And a Slith prisoner. Interesting that they took a prisoner this time instead of just outright killing him. Maybe they're hoping to interrogate and discover some of their plans. A Slith paces sluggishly in the cell. Its skin doesn't have the normal healthy green color. Instead, it's slightly bluish. It stops pacing the room for a moment, to look at you with cold eyes. Then it starts moving around again. It turns to you. It is shivering slightly. You can tell the cold-blooded creature is freezing. I wait to be avenged, warm blood. This is mightier than all of you humans combined, it says in a weak voice. Our gods are mighty. Our ally is a being of devastation. His words ooze out, sibilant and deliberate. You are killing me slowly in this pit. Your deaths will be worse. It continues moving around, trying to keep warm. Ally? His forked tongue flickers out, and he hisses. We follow one of the lords of darkness. I myself have groveled at his feet. Soon he shall be free, and he will lead us to mastery over the caves. Well, that doesn't sound good. Like I said last episode, we should probably get cracking on that Demon Slayer sword. A balding, pudgy man moves crates of supplies around at an almost glacial pace. Huh? Oh, hi. I'm Mo. Huh? Oh, I'm the quartermaster. I keep track of the supplies. And stuff. Get stuff in, hand it out. I hate it here. Yeah, at Fort Emerald. I was at Fort Remote. I liked it there. Then they transferred me. Yeah, to the west. Most boring fort in Exile. Guarding a bunch of empty tunnels. Well, almost empty. There's a big drake living in there. It never attacks, so we just wait. Much better than here. Here is dangerous. Real dangerous. That, I believe, is the Emerald Room, which we'll investigate once we're done here. Cracked iron plaque says storage. Keep out. No storeroom is safe from me. You meet a buxom lass with lush brown hair and a self-confident air. She gives you a friendly, appraising glance. I'm Eleanor. She sighs. Nowadays I help out at the fort, but I used to be an actress. In the surface world, you wouldn't have heard of me, but I was going places. She makes a grand wave of her arm. I commanded the stage. Well, to some extent anyway. Then I appeared in a play that perhaps I shouldn't have. It was a stirring portrayal of what happened to the first expedition the Empire sent down here. Unfortunately, although everyone knew about it, nobody was supposed to, so they put us on trial. Can you imagine? The Empire does one stupid thing and stomps on everyone who mentions it. You see, everyone in the first group who came down here died. Total disaster. I played Marianne, consort to Karzov, the female lead. Oh, good for you. Okay, I believe that's all we can get from her, but pretty neat flavor text. Nothing in here. Nor in here. Door locked over there. Barracks over here. Barracks is the standard, pretty boring barracks. Looks like this guy's pushed his dresser in front of the door. Okay then. A thin, nervous man cowers in the shadows. He jumps when he sees you. He extends a twitching hand to you. I am Chief Liaison Randall. Pleased to meet you. Please make sure the door is locked. I'm a fort liaison. I travel to the different forts to see how the war goes, and report back to the castle. Castle? The castle? What other castle is there? It's safe there. I like it. But then His Majesty always sends me out again. And again! His face is twitching. I'll be caught in an ambush and eaten one of these days. Oh, how I miss the surface. I was a messenger up there, too. The Empire kept the roads nice and orderly and safe. No Nephilim up there to kill you. Oh, no. No, no, no. They're all down here now, trying to kill me. I didn't appreciate how good things up there were. I didn't at all. Then I got a little drunk and shot my mouth off, and now here I am. I miss it up there. The forts, war... Aha. There are several. It keeps me busy. But this is the worst to visit. This and Fort Duranlon. I hate it. It terrifies me. The sound of the fireballs, the screams, the hisses. I get my report, hide, and get back to the castle as soon as I can. Poor guy. An old woman with long, snowy white hair sits cross-legged, staring into the emerald. She speaks without turning away from the jewel. I am Silverio. She emits a long, world-weary sigh. Same as you. I defend and serve Exile as best I can. I know something of your travels. We fight the same fight. She smiles sadly and peers deeper into the huge gem. Against whoever is handy. I fight the Sliths, because we need to if we are to survive. Once, long ago, I fought demons. I prefer Sliths, even though their attacks are near constant. You may have heard of it. There was once a demon called Greyhoth. He lived in a fort beyond a sea of lava to the southeast. I was an apprentice then. We defeated and imprisoned him, and put him in a cave near the abyss. A well-guarded cave. The fort is still there, with some demons trapped in it forever. And maybe treasure. Oh, treasure, you say? She thinks. Most of the fort was shattered when Greyhoth fell. Just a pool of lava and basalt rubble. She thinks. But one thing I remember. There was a body, frozen in stasis. A man from the surface, wearing a royal seal of the Empire above. It was a horrid and bizarre sight. I'm glad we sealed the place up. Interesting. I wonder if this royal seal will be important to the plot or a major quest somehow. There is a pedestal in the center of this small room, surrounded by kneeling mats for meditation. Mounted on the pedestal is the largest emerald you've ever seen. It glows from within with a strange light. And breaking it sounds like a really dumb thing to do. Oh my, I didn't think we'd be able to do that. You strike the gem a sharp blow and it explodes, showering you with razor-sharp fragments. When the guards hear the explosion, they come running. So we take fire damage. Silverio... Oh, Silverio does care, and is hostile. I think everyone in the fort is hostile now. I thought it was going to give us some message about how we could not damage the emerald no matter what we did. I was very wrong. Let's try the meditation instead. As you meditate, the glow of the emerald has a strange energizing effect on you. Your spell points are restored. Cool. And we can see this side of the fort is much more littered with bodies and rubble. Slith Chief, where? Oh, you're hiding. You don't get to live much longer. Major haste. It's just one Slith, even if he is a chief. Not worth a major blessing. Ow. And he's dead in 3 turns. Mwahaha. So that's what was hiding behind all the magic barriers. Jumbled among the rubble in this tiny nook, you find a crate. Most of its contents are ruined, but you do find some arrows. Cool. Unidentified arrows, but arrows nonetheless. Now, if we were playing one of the remakes, I would be searching each and every one of these bodies for loot. Since we're playing the original game, I already know it's not worth the effort. And those giant lizards decided it's not worth the effort of fighting me. There is a Slith guard post here. You approach uneasily, ready for a pitched battle, and are surprised to see them move aside to let you pass. Strangely, they are guarding against Sliths from the east, rather than humans from the west. You move by unmolested. Okay. But I am more curious about this sign up here. There is a message carved on the wall here. No man's land. Sliths to north. Beware. Well, I dare say the Sliths are the ones who should beware of us at this point. And just a chunk of shoreline over here, and a unknown large body of water. Now what do we have over here? Slith fortifications. A barricaded fort, presumably full of Sliths. We'll take care of them in the next episode.